Patreon. Welcome back to Geekvolution After Dark. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
How's it going, Patreon? It is our second episode of Geekvolution After Dark, and the first thing we would like to do this evening is to say thanks very much to all of our new patrons.
Yeah.
Eric, we have garnered almost close to double what we had before, and it's really exciting, and I know a lot of you folks came in to enjoy this show, so hope we can provide an hour of really fun, goofy, silly entertainment. And so
hopefully the first point on my list does not drive them all away.
Yeah, well, you know, I thought we were going to lose subscribers. You remember those patrons?
You were nervous after
like,
we recorded it.
I was a little bit, yeah, and I was like, oh boy, we really screwed up there. And I was like, look at all these patrons we probably lost. And then no, folks stuck around. People seem to really enjoy it. Yeah. And thanks a lot, folks. First of all, I'm glad that the audience is a little bit bigger for this show, because I was actually kind of proud of that first episode.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And as I was going back and looking at it to pull out the excerpts, I was like, no, we really had a good time with that, and just this really loose format and getting to talk about stuff we don't usually bring up on the channel, and just some of the goofy shit we can go to.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm just stoked we are doing this. Really. So, once again, thanks, Patreon. You guys are absolutely wonderful. And after this episode, I want to add a new segment to this show. I would like you folks to feel free to write down some questions you'd like to see us talk about in later episodes. And keep in mind that, especially for this show, it can be anything. Really anything. And we're not necessarily going to answer every single question people put in, but ones we like, we'll do a Q&A section on this show. So what I'm thinking is maybe we do, I didn't even talk to you about this, but I'm thinking maybe we do like 5 topics like we usually do, or maybe bring it back down to 4, and then like the 5th one is an audience question.
Sure.
And maybe even like each of us picks an audience question.
Yeah.
And you guys can direct things directly to one of us, or to both of us, however you want to do that. But we'll start taking questions on this show, and we'll do a Ask Cap and Eric anything, and it can even be, dare I say, personal kinds of things, and just, again, stuff that we might not tackle on the channel. And obviously it can still be geeky things and stuff, but...
It could be political, could be theological.
Yeah, and once again, I don't want to promise that I will answer anything.
Yeah.
But the ones we really like that we are comfortable talking about, and again, we're more comfortable on this show talking about things than we are in other places. But we want to, of course, interact directly with you folks. And anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. Keep in mind that we're recording this early from when we're posting it, so some of the stuff that we say in this might be kind of timely for right now. You'll get this a week after we've recorded it. So. Are you ready for an hour on the clock, Eric?
I'm ready for an hour on the clock.
We each have 5 topics, as we did last time, and I can't wait to find out what Eric's first one is. Now, you went first last time. Would you like to go first again this time? Or would you prefer I go first this time?
You can go first this time.
Okay, I shall.
We'll set it in a nice mood before my topic loses all the subscribers.
Oh, well, then I will try to pick the most controversial thing on my list. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Because I front-loaded. I was like, I'm gonna go real big and angry, and then the rest of it less so.
You know, I almost said everybody please press play. I almost did that. Eric and I guess for Patreon, I don't mind saying, Eric and I have already started working on Batmania. We've been front-loading, trying to get some of those
films in.
Knocked out. Yeah, and that has already been so much fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait for people to see that. But anyway, 1 hour on the clock, ladies and mofos. Here we go.
You ready, folks?
Are you ready for dun 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 dun?
Let's play.
Right now.
Oh no, you lost it.
We're not synced. We're not synced.
We're not synced. Hold on. Rewind.
Okay, the first thing I want to talk about today.
You have like paragraphs and stuff.
Is how I write a lot. Yeah, that's the thing I do. I want to talk about how too many people don't like to talk about their tattoos. Like if
I know where this is coming from.
If you
didn't even ask her.
I know.
She could have been
because
really
I know
polite
people
and
fucking hate it when you ask them about their tattoos. But look, folks, if you have cool tattoos,
if you're at a Chipotle.
Yes, if you're standing in line, this is going to sound real specific, but if you're standing in line at a Chipotle and you have some kind of an Eastern symbol on some kind of like a Japanese or a Chinese symbol on the back of your neck, expect someone to ask you what it means, because
you didn't even ask her.
I know, and I should have, but the reason I didn't is because I have run into this, where Okay, so I have not actually asked someone what a tattoo means, and then they give me a bunch of shit I get that all the time. I'm so tired of it. You know, it's like a celebrity at a con.
Yeah.
God, I'm so tired of that question. Okay, well, you're kind of putting yourself out there a little bit. Like, it's a little conspicuous. But I have heard people in conversation, like I've had conversations with people
where they say
where they bring it up, where they're like, God, like sometimes I just have to like cover up my tattoos so people aren't fucking asking me about them all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but again, it's conspicuous, it's body art, it's art. People like to look at and dissect and analyze art.
Especially if it's another language. Like, if it's supposed to be a phrase or something, you're kind of curious, like, what does it say?
Yeah, and if you have a kick-ass Batman right here, you can't get upset when I go, wow, that's a really kick-ass Batman you have right there. Like even that when you know what it is. I'm sorry, I'm going to point out your kick-ass tattoos. It's a compliment.
Yeah.
And when did it become not okay to give people compliments?
Probably around the time that everyone started having tattoos.
Well, that's
like now
okay.
It's just an
That's
accepted
true.
thing. Like you don't find very many people that don't have tattoos.
Well, yeah, and it's not because it's edgy. It's not like, oh wow, you really, went. You really took a risk.
Yeah.
There, and I'm not saying that it isn't sometimes a risk to get a tattoo.
Sure.
But it's not as big of a deal as it once was.
Yeah.
It is a lot. You're absolutely right.
I think one of the big reasons I've never gotten a tattoo, because I know what I would get if I got a tattoo. I don't know if I ever would, but if I did, I know what I would get. I actually found a guy with one of the tattoos I would get. There's a symbol in G.I. Joe that Snake Eyes, that Ninja Clan has. It's the Arashikage symbol. It's like a bunch of red bars. I would get that here, and I would get the Cobra symbol here, and I would get the brand from Berserk on the back of my neck.
I totally thought you were going to say Hitman, but it's not like you watch those games.
No. I would get
I think getting a barcode on yourself would be really creepy.
Yeah.
No matter why you did it and what it was for. You know what I mean? It's like I wouldn't want to brand myself like that.
But I actually met a guy at work a couple of weeks ago that had the Arashikage symbol. I was like, that's a really cool tattoo.
I wonder if it's possible to get a barcode on yourself that you actually can scan.
One day? I don't know if that's possible yet, but one day.
I wonder if it's possible.
But so anyways, what I was saying was...
you have like really funny things come up when you scan it in. You know what I mean?
Oh man, you never played with scanners. That was after your time. There was a game that was kind of like a Tamagotchi.
Okay.
But you'd scan barcodes, and there would be monsters hidden in barcodes. So like you'd go through a supermarket, you just scan barcodes, and you get monsters and stuff.
See, I'm trying to get something.
Fight other monsters.
I'm trying to get something really mundane in normal supermarket. Like you just scan the back of my neck, and it says like chicken soup 99 cents. But anyway.
One of the reasons I've never gotten a tattoo, or never really even had an interest in it, and I don't really like tattoos. Like, this is a thing, is I basically...
Even on other people?
I've basically given up a search for a girl without a tattoo. Like, they just don't seem to exist anymore.
In your age,
and
especially.
I've just kind of resigned myself to that, but I don't particularly like tattoos.
Wow.
But one of the reasons I've never even considered getting a tattoo, really, and this is changing, but a lot of places, at least when I was a little bit younger, you could not have any visible tattoos when you worked there. That seems to have been loosening up a bit, but like, if I were to get a tattoo,
at the same time,
I probably would.
Especially for a lot of jobs, I understand that.
Yeah.
It is kind of unprofessional, and like there's a certain uniformity you want at a place. It doesn't mean that your identity has been taken away. It doesn't mean you've been given a number and they've taken away your name and they gave you a number. It's not necessarily like that. I mean, I've worked at those places too, but I don't know. It can send the wrong message and just feel unclassy to have like a waitress at a restaurant, especially like a fancy like a waiter or waitress at a fancy restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got tattoos and same thing with body piercings and stuff.
I feel like that is slowly
each his own.
changing.
Do whatever you want to, but yeah, and I don't like that with some places. I think we're getting too lax to some degree. That's my opinion.
But if I ever got a tattoo, I wouldn't do it until I was in a career, like a real career, where like I never had to worry about that again. Also, I've been told that the tattoos I want are like the 3 most painful places you can get a tattoo, basically. So I have an okay pain threshold.
Or you wouldn't get one until like maybe you worked for yourself and you had job security and you didn't have to worry about getting fired.
Yeah, exactly.
Like because I mean, not to rub it in or anything, but I could do that all day long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I am, like honestly, I could grow my hair out, I can grow a beard out.
Dragon right here.
I have thought about bleaching my hair before.
Have you?
I mean, I thought about going to crazy places. Yeah. I just don't think I would. A, I don't know if I look good with it. B, it's pretty permanent. You're stuck with that for a while. And C, I have facial hair, and I would have to bleach my facial hair to match it. That would look really, really dumb. So like, I would probably have to shave my whole face. But I guess, I mean, I've grown out stubble for a week or two, just the last couple weeks. But I do the soul patch thing these days. So like, if I decided to bleach my hair, I'd probably just go for that look for a while, and I'd probably just get rid of the soul patch. Like these days, it's not as big a deal. But when I went for the full blown beard,
Have you ever dyed your hair before?
I've never done it.
I have once.
Really? What color?
Actually,
like purple.
Actually,
or...
technically, I've dyed my hair twice, but one of them was a temporary dye job for Halloween.
Okay.
I did once dye my hair blonde.
I've done temporary, but I mean, it came out the next day. You know.
I did once dye my hair.
Did you do the Norman Osborn cornrows?
No, I dyed my hair black.
But he will now.
Which is weird because I have really dark hair anyway.
That's where he's going next time.
Yeah, that's definitely where we're going to go. We should get Dan to do that.
Well, what we need, yes, yeah, and what
Dan
we need
spends so much
is,
goddamn time in his hair.
He does. We need some kind of supernatural thing where you dye your hair and then when you turn it, the lines stay in the same place. You know, that'd be amazing.
I was like, yeah, like if it was the lower layer on a computer program.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like in the animated Spider-Man. That's why I always make fun of that. It's like the lines are in the same place no matter where he turns his head.
The anime version of Kanamai Christo, the one with the name that I can't pronounce, it's like Genketsuo or something like that. That's how they do a lot of their costuming. Like he'll have like a really elaborate robe, and it's clearly like the lower layer of the image is like a really fancy picture. So when he moves, it's like the scenery is moving behind him.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool. It's a really pretty series. Also, it's in the future and has mechs. But
yeah, I don't know if I could get away with dyeing my hair. I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if it would look good on me. It's hard to know.
It's hard to know that.
Yeah.
You could probably go red. I bet you could go ginger.
Okay. Yeah. One thing I miss doing, and my hair got too curly. You probably know this about me.
You should dye your hair red and then shave it.
I used to do the Wolverine hair.
Yes.
Oh yeah. That would be really funny. I'm red for a month, and then I make a video where I'm like, well, bad news, folks. There was a meteor shower in Kansas because that's where I live.
Kill you.
And then, but if I told her it was for a joke and I was going to grow it right back, she might be kind of okay with it. Sometimes that'll happen where I'll be like, my wife is so cool with stuff, and living here for a long time, you probably agree with that. Like Sarah's so cool with things. Eric and I are talking about doing a crazy ass thing I did years ago, where I watched an entire season of 24 in 24 hours. It was the first few months I was doing Geekvolution, and I didn't record it, and I didn't broadcast it live because we didn't have live broadcasting back then. In fact, the lengths of the videos were still 10 minutes at that time. That's how far back this goes.
I remember that.
And I watched all of season 5 in 24 hours, and Sarah was really cool with it. Well, Eric and I were talking about doing it again, the both of us, and live streaming it, and doing season 1, and partly because of the times that goes between, because I want to do it like I did last time, where you sync up the time of day it is.
And I've seen season 1
with the show, and you know that season to some degree. Anyway, we were talking about it, and I was like, the one thing is, I don't know if Sarah would be cool with it, because like she'd have to. It would have to be a period where she could take a couple days off and watch the kids. And I told her about it, and she was like, "Oh no, that's great. You should do that." I was really surprised by her reaction. So that may happen if I can get Eric to commit to it. That may happen at some point.
And it really just depends on, because I would have to take 3 days off of work.
Getting time off.
Yeah.
I think it could be really fun though.
Yeah.
We'd probably wait and make it one of these Patreon things. You know, like when it hits.
Oh, as the marathon.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
just use that as a slot. You know, if Patreon's okay with it, because we are letting them help us choose that. You know, but okay. So that's my whole rant about tattoos.
You know what? I don't need tiny cue cards. I know exactly what my first thing is.
Tiny cue cards.
All right. So I don't want to get off on the rant here.
This homelessness. I hate the homelessness problem.
So I'm gonna talk for a minute. You tell me if I cross a line, if I go too far. And then
let's find something to make a line with, shall we? Do you see anything?
Not one of those pussy like DC drawing a line lines.
Here's the line. We'll see if he crosses it. Okay, this is. I wish I thought of this ahead, and I could get like oh my god, what the. What is that?
That's a fly.
That is it's not a fly. It's a very large moth. Yeah, it's Arthur. Arthur's over there, you guys. No, I wish I had brought out like tape measure or something. Anyway. Okay. This is the line.
So I want to talk about the whole geek culture thing that we have going on right now that everyone's so fucking ecstatic about.
This is my scared face.
That I've talked before about not being crazy about, and I finally nailed down what it is that bothers me.
All right.
So
let's see the nails, sir.
So I am one that goes, and you've never had this, but and I try to avoid this term, but I'm much more knee-jerky to the fake geek thing.
Right.
I'm sorry.
You tried to stop yourself from saying fake geek girl, didn't you?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
No.
Just. So this is not a gender thing.
This is not a gender thing.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, gender plays a part of it.
I guess I just heard you say that phrase a few times.
Fake geek girl. Most of the time I'm saying that facetiously.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
But no. It's part of that fake geek thing, where it's.
I won't put lines in your mouth.
I mean, I'm sorry if the only comics you buy are Harley Quinn and Deadpool, you're a fake geek, but whatever. So here's the thing, or I figured out what it is that bothers me about this, because I've never been able to put my finger on it.
Go all the way back to Joe Kelly. That's just taste, okay?
I've talked about it a little bit on a live show where I was like, yeah, but we're now. What was once special and small is now trying to play to a mainstream audience, and it's kind of ruining it a little bit. And I don't think that's an unfair criticism, especially looking at Marvel Comics right now. We're trying to play to a very different audience than who we used to be trying to play to, and we're all still here. But that's not my issue. I finally figured out what is my issue.
Whereas the argument could be made that DC is playing too much to its base.
Sure, except that they're getting young new people in,
which just means that the classic stuff they're riffing on is kind of timeless and sticks around, right?
Yeah. So I finally figured out why I'm so bothered by all of these people being geeks.
Okay.
Aside from the fact that I don't think they are. I'm sorry, seeing Marvel movies doesn't make you a geek. Liking Star Wars doesn't make you a geek. Not liking Star Wars movies doesn't make you a geek. As far as I'm concerned,
especially because it's the lexicon now.
And yeah, these are now the mainstream things. If you used
to not like these things because you were told not to, and then suddenly you like them, that doesn't. That just means that it's okay now, and so you're playing into whatever the popular thing is.
Yeah.
If it stops being a fad in a few years, you might lose those people. They're not.
So,
geeks.
I figured out what it is that really bothers me about.
But
this.
I don't want to be elitist about it. I think it's okay for those people to like those things.
I think it's fine for them to like them. Don't lie to me. Don't tell me you're a geek. You're not. I'm sorry, you're not.
Well, define. I mean, I know we do this a lot on the channel, but define that a little bit. Why does that matter to you?
Okay, and this is what I figured out.
Sure, absolutely.
So, I'm gonna explain this with a metaphor, because this is how I figured out. Was I was talking to someone, and I started writing a metaphor story. I was like, this is the world I live in every day. All right. So imagine you really like making sandcastles.
Sure.
Okay.
I can imagine.
You make really cool, intricate sandcastles. And you find some friends that also make really cool, intricate sandcastles, and you guys bond over sandcastles. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of people start making shitty sandcastles. And that now becomes the norm, and everyone likes sandcastles, and they all tell you they love sandcastles. And
because that's just what people do on the weekends now.
And the standard
it's the new fidget spinner. That's what everyone's doing.
And the standard for sandcastles are now these shitty sandcastles.
Yeah.
And this is where the gender thing comes into it, because it's about me finding a girl in certain situations.
Okay.
I can't find my people anymore. Everyone says they're geeks. I can't find the people that like things I like the way I like them. That's the problem with it. Is it now becomes much harder to distinguish the people that actually like sandcastles. I can't. It's so hard to find. It didn't used to be this way, because the only people into comics were people that genuinely loved comics and knew things about comics. I mean, maybe a little bit less so in the 90s, but you know what I mean.
And isn't it less about what people know and more about their motivations for looking? Are you really into it and looking into it and engrossed with the material?
I want to meet.
Some of it is, do you care about story?
Yeah, I want to meet people and make friends and maybe get a girlfriend that likes these things the way I like them. And that has become so much harder to find now. It has become so much harder to find people that actually know anything about comics or actually know anything about movies or books or things like that, because everyone says they do.
So you mean that as it's gotten more mainstream, it hasn't gotten any easier?
It's become harder to find people that I can connect with.
Yeah.
Because everyone now pretends that they're people I can connect with, and I can't. because they don't actually like them on the same level I do.
See, where I have reservation is in
Did I cross that line?
No, not at all.
Cool.
Where I have reservation is in the word pretend.
Okay.
I think for some people that might be kind of the case. I think it's probably subconscious and they don't realize it. I think it's a matter of perspective. Anything when I was a kid, I think it's a matter of having a childlike mentality to a degree about things as you're an adult because you haven't discovered them before. So it's sort of like when you latch onto things when you're a kid. When I was a kid, I used to say things like, I've seen every episode of 60s Batman.
Sure.
I hadn't. I'd seen maybe a sixth of them, but I thought I'd seen them all. I used to think I knew Star Trek so much better than I actually did. It's a matter of perspective. I didn't have anybody else to compare my knowledge to. I had people telling me I was such a big fan of things, I thought I was at the top of that fandom. I thought, and even a few years ago when I was running a Star Trek club and I was almost on a reality show because of my Star Trek knowledge, I thought I was closer to the top of like knowledge or even, dare I say, like obsession with a thing, and that's why they were interested in me. But that was a matter of perspective also for that studio that was coming after me because they didn't do their research and they didn't realize that there were people who knew Star Trek way better than I did.
Mm. Whereas I'm almost on the reverse end of the spectrum.
And so I just feel like there are people who probably actually do think that they know it as well as you do because they just got into it and they're so excited about it and into it, but they haven't had the time to it's really easy to get
25, grow up.
It's easy to get too big for your britches and yes, I agree with you.
Because I did stuff like that when I was a kid too.
Right.
I don't do it now.
Yeah, but when I had this thing with the reality show, I was 27, 28.
Sure.
It's a matter of perspective. But it's very difficult to know, and I was certainly open-minded to the idea that there are probably people out there that are way more into Star Trek than I. And certainly, I knew that there were people who were into parts of it in ways that I wasn't because I didn't care about that stuff.
Yeah, but it like I almost have the reverse thing where like. I spent so long kind of alone with myself and comics and movies and things like that when I went out into the world expecting to find people that also knew who Jim Shooter was or Roger Stern, I can't find them. Or they're very rare, especially in girls. That's a thing.
But buddy, some of it has a lot to do with what you care about inside a fandom. So, like, I had to do this before I really cared that much about how the sausage was made.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's, if I may, totally fair. I think you could find a chick who's really into a particular run of comics or a character and soaks up everything, who doesn't necessarily know artists and writer names.
No, and that's fine, but it has to be something...
Why do they have to know everything about how it's made?
They don't, but...
I'm with you, I care about the history too, but there are things that you like that you don't really care as much about the history of.
No, but I would like to meet I'd like to meet people that care about the history.
Well, sure.
I'd like to meet people that have actual opinions and like things that are not in movies. I'd like to meet...
I adore Hershey bars. I don't need to know everything about Milton Hershey.
Sure, but like I would like to meet someone who knew who Iron Fist was before 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Those people are really hard to find, and
it will get harder as we get older, certainly.
It gets harder and harder as more and more people say they like these things and act like they like them on the level I do, which is why it feels like they're pretending. He's like, I'm the hugest fan.
I think some of it is ignorance, and I think some of it is understandable ignorance.
But it makes it harder for me. I'm not condemning these people for what they're doing.
I also don't know why you have to have that. Entirely. Because
that's how I make friends. Like, I like to find people that have similar interests. I like to find people I can connect with. It has become harder for me to connect with people. This has actually made it harder before when geeks were an oppressed minority to a certain extent, especially in the 80s. It wasn't as hard to find those people because you knew who they were. And you maybe didn't expect to find, especially a girl like that, because they were much lesser then, so you don't have the expectation.
And some of it is like internet status and stuff like that.
I can't meet a person that doesn't tell me what a huge fan of superheroes and comics they are.
Yeah, that's right.
But none of them are anywhere near me.
Okay. If I may, in this setting, give you a tiny, tiny bit of advice.
Sure.
I think
in front of God and everyone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, record and like in fact, God became a patron last week. That was cool.
That was nice.
Yeah, he got, and the problem is he got on the $15 tier, and I don't know where the fuck to send that package.
Oh man,
that's going to be difficult.
Tied to a balloon.
But yeah. Really, and then he'll think that's cute because that's the way we get babies too. But anyway, so
I was with you while you write the novel, but I really want to read it myself.
Anyway. God, if you're watching, that's just a joke. No, so what does God need with a starship anyway?
Or balloons.
So I think perhaps, and I don't know if this is this sounds awful. I don't know if this is as easy for like your generation and your we're not that far away generationally, but you know what I mean.
But it feels like it sometimes.
Sometimes it does feel that way.
And less so for me and you, and more so me and you and anyone my age.
Yeah, which makes it sound like snobs, but it does feel that way sometimes. Anyway, okay, so I think you should maybe, and I speak this from experience, because I certainly wasn't doing this myself when it happened. It fell in my lap. Sarah, this sounds terrible. Sarah fell in my lap, basically.
Don't ever say that.
I won't. But that opportunity just came out of nowhere. The thing is, I think you gotta look for. It's on video now. I think you got to look for personality before you look for knowledge.
Sure, absolutely.
So when you say interest, I think you're spot on. Remember that Sarah had never seen an episode of Star Trek when I met her, and one of the things that one of the big bonds that Sarah and I have is over Star Trek.
I need to meet someone that's already into Babylon 5. I need to meet someone that would like Babylon 5.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
But it's not just about girls. Like,
and it's not a matter of like force it on them. Once you get to know them, you might be able to tell whether or not it's someone that is compatible with you in that way, and maybe try a couple things. And honestly, I don't know that it even is necessarily often a deal breaker if they like all the stuff you like.
No. It is number one deal breaker right now in the world. It is
for me and Sarah. It was just a matter of having someone who the writing was a big thing, but also in literature, but finding someone that you could have an intellectual conversation.
Absolutely. Number one deal breaker. End of I will not even immediately any interest goes away. Likes Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Immediately. Nope. You don't get it. You're not. No. Sorry. Just no. But no, it's not just about girls. Girls are on my mind a lot because I'm very lonely. But even just making friends and stuff, I hate, and the thing is, it is that kid thing. It is that kid thing of being like, well, I've always loved Tony Stark. I'm like, fuck you, you have no idea who Tony Stark is. Don't tell me that. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. Because all of a sudden I'm interested. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, what did you think of this or this? I only saw the movies. I didn't even see Iron Man 3. It bothers me. And maybe that's unfair and maybe that's self-righteous, but this boom in geek culture has made it harder for me to connect with people.
People have, and I don't know if this is connected enough to what we're talking about.
Sure.
But I have this reputation for being a big Clock King fan. I don't know nearly enough about that character.
Sure, and we all have things like that.
But some things, and this is not the right word at all. There's knowledge and fandom and being a fan of something, and then there's almost like a fetish. And I don't mean I have a Clock King fetish. I don't mean that's not the right word.
I understand what you're saying.
But
it's like Sarah and Venom.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, because she doesn't have to know everything about Venom. She just likes the aesthetic.
Yeah.
She likes the idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like Sarah pretends like she knows everything there is to know about Venom.
No,
she doesn't even like Spider-Man.
She couldn't even articulate why she liked Venom. She's like, kill Spider-Man? That was her answer to me? Why do you like Venom? Kill Spider-Man.
Yeah, but you can't say she's pretending anything.
No, not at all. But
that's not what you're running into.
No, it is. Especially when...
And ironically, isn't that kind of one of the most fanboyish things there is pretending like you know something that you don't know. Just be honest with yourself and with other people.
So we rewatched your documentary while my family was here.
Yeah.
And
that was really cool of you.
It was. I had this moment where they're talking about they wanted to make stores that all of them said you gotta make stores that their moms can come into, that their girlfriends want to come into. You don't want the dungeon. There's a little bit of me that kind of wants those dungeons around, so I can at least know I'm walking into a place where people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my problem with that, of course, is that
obviously they're all kind of seedy and dirty.
It was dingy. But it was also kind of perpetuating stereotypes.
Sure.
And that was my big problem.
And those stereotypes have not gone away.
No, they're still around. They're hidden now. As it's gotten mainstream, it's easy to pretend like it's not that way. And I also think there are people who want to perpetuate kind of like poor social behavior and saying, well, now that nerddom and geekdom is in,
it's okay to be the comic book guys from the Simpsons.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay to act like that with people, and like, no, you can be classier, and you can be more well-rounded, and you can not go around expecting everyone to know everything you do, and be prudish about it, or you don't want anything to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think is what you were doing, and I think it would be easy for people to misconstrue what you're saying as, oh, well, he's an elitist snob, and everyone has to know exactly what he knows.
No, it's just it's really, this whole thing has for me personally made the world smaller. It has made it much more difficult to find people I can connect with, which was much less the case when I was a kid.
Superheroes
when I was a teenager.
are at like a pop rock status now.
Yeah.
Where it's what's on the radio.
Yeah. And if I was a big fan of, the Rolling Stones, I'd probably hate it if people were like, oh, I love the Rolling Stones, and, they know Paint It Black.
The one song, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just, even though...
It's like the Ramones with Pet Sematary.
And like everyone's real excited about,
Ramones,
or
yeah.
Rock the Casbah.
I think I'm
Rock the Casbah's the Ramones.
We try to stay away from
I don't like the Ramones.
I'm not a big fan either.
I like the Clash, I like the Sex Pistols, I'm not a Ramones guy. But yeah, it's made me feel more isolated than I did when I was younger, when I was kind of in that minority camp. Because at least then I was in a minority and I knew I could find the other people. It's much more difficult now. It bugs me. So that's my piece on that.
Yeah, no, I totally sympathize. I don't have it to the degree you do because I got lucky in
when
some
you're older than me and you've
before.
got lots of friends. Not that I don't have friends, I do, but
and I have a wife that's geeky like
yeah.
I am too, and that all happened for us well before this all got so mainstream. So I guess I sometimes don't see it as hard as you do in a personal way, but there are but I certainly get it to a degree where I can't put my finger on it, and I'm almost afraid of being prudish about it, so I don't bring it up much. Or I'm just like, it's not like it used to be. Sometimes I feel like it's not as special as it used to be.
It's not
and then it makes me feel like I'm too, like I said, kind of elitist about it. Where like, well, do I really want it to be that thing you got beat up with?
No, because the thing.
Grade. No, I don't. But at the same time, like when I started doing Geekvolution, I was one of the only people putting out regular reviews about superhero movies. Now everybody's doing it.
Yeah. No. The thing that I've always said is I didn't want this. This was never what I wanted from the world. All I wanted.
You kind of want people to be smarter.
Well, yes, that's a big thing, and that's one of the biggest.
Because if that's what got us here, where people started seeing the relevance and the why it was worthwhile to consider comics literature. Yeah, okay.
Well,
that's what got us there.
And that's one of my biggest issues is none of these people are seeing in comics what I see in comics. They're not going to the smart stuff. They're not going to the esoteric stuff. They're not going to the best comics has. They're going to fucking Squirrel Girl. And Deadpool and Harley Quinn.
And to a degree, you're talking to the wrong person because I've always been so mainstream guy. And I mean, like, I have opened my horizons over the years, as you know.
But even in the mainstream, like, they're not going to that stuff.
Yeah.
These people aren't coming in and going to Dark Knight Returns. Or even, I mean, maybe Watchmen, but, like, they're not going to that stuff. They're not going to the smart stuff. They're not going to the Ultimates. They're not going to any of that stuff.
Marvels.
Yeah. Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
They're not going to that stuff. They are going to fucking Deadpool and fucking Harley Quinn and it's
Identity Crisis.
Yeah, they're not going to Identity Crisis. They're not going to any of the crises. The crises might as well not have happened.
It's crises
because they're not going to that, and it's just it really bothers me.
Well, last time we were really rolling through, we were already halfway through the show.
Well,
and we've got four. No,
I had a big one.
You had a big one, and I've got some real fast ones. So the next thing I want to bring up is something that I had a conversation with you about earlier. So bear with me when I tell this story again.
Okay.
But we were talking earlier about the Retron. And
Yes.
So if you don't know, there are a few different models of the Retron, and what those are a piece of hardware that will let you go back and play old cartridges. It started with the Retro Duo, or I think maybe it was just a straight up Retron.
Yeah, it's Retron.
It was just the NES, and then the Retro Duo gave you both SNES and Super Nintendo. Now we're up to the Retron 5, which I have, and unfortunately my pins are broken for the NES. I can't play that slot anymore, which is really sad.
There are rumors about a 6 that will do a 64, perhaps later this year, early next year.
They were waiting to be able to get the patent for it to be allowed to use that. But anyway, the Retron 5 also gives you Genesis, and it gives you Super Famicom,
and Game Boy Advance, which I believe also does Game Boy.
Go all the way back to the original Game Boy. It's cool. But anyway, so Eric and I have a conversation. He thought that one of the games, apparently there are games it doesn't play, and Eric thought that one of the games it wouldn't play was Crash Test Dummies, which is a thing that Eric and I keep talking about because Eric is a little younger than me and wasn't around when for that hot minute when Crash Test Dummies were a popular toy. And if you don't know about those, they're those dummies that you see in the commercials for cars that they use in tests to make sure that the cars are safe. And if they're not safe and the car hits real hard, the Crash Test Dummy will explode. Well, they had toys where you could run the car up against a wall and the car would explode and the dummy would explode. It was really fun. And they made it. For a minute, they were merchandising a lot of things for that. And they made an NES video game, which I have.
And there
played,
was an animated series or a pilot for an animated series.
I think so, yeah. And I played a little bit of the NES game and thought it was really hard. And I bought that game several years ago when I was living in Lawrence, and and the cartridge I bought didn't work very well. And it would take like forever to, you're blowing it a lot. It would take forever to get it to work. And whenever I would play it, I could only get through half the first level before it would start glitching out and get all messed up. And I finally got the Retron and decided to try it in the Retron. And again, it took a little while, but I finally got it to dump the ROM into the Retron. And the way the Retron works is it actually takes the ROM off the cartridge and puts it into its system. And you're actually, even though you have to keep the cartridge in, you're actually playing it from that ROM.
Basically emulates it from the actual cartridge.
Yeah, that's right. And and so the colors are as vibrant as they ever possibly could be, and it gives you the best picture you could have. And it looks great. And also it's HDMI. And I don't know if that really upscales it that much, but it's the nicest transfer you could possibly have.
It would be nice if it had a storage capacity so that you could keep games on there once you've...
I think they do that just so that you're kosher and legal, and so that you're not selling those systems to people and stuff. That would be my guess. I think that's the only reason they... It's probably a fail-safe before it's a technological, limitation.
Yeah, somebody doesn't get the most expensive Nintendo games and put them on there and then sell systems.
Puts on eBay, yeah. Because you can do that.
Yeah.
Sure. But anyway, so when I finally got it to work on the Retron, I was, once again, only able to get through the first half of that level. And not because it glitched out at that point, it was working, it was pristine, it's because the game is so fucking hard, when I got to the middle of that level, I just couldn't get any further there, so it wouldn't have mattered if the cartridge wasn't glitching out. I still would have been stuck and couldn't have gotten any farther. So... I guess I just can't play Crash Test Dummies. I guess that's the moral of the story. And that is one of those games, AVGN is always complaining about this. It's one of those games where everything you hit, sends you back. No, it just shoots you backwards. It's so irritating. I always hated those games where you hit a thing and it throws you 6 miles backwards. They missed that lesson in physics. Equal and opposite. Not 5 times more.
Right, but... missing lessons in physics also got us the double jump, which is a bizarrely just...
I have a double standard on this.
Ubiquitous, unanimous thing across video games, right?
But I want it to always benefit me.
Have you ever questioned the double jump? Do you ever stop and think, well, that's not possible?
Yeah, sure. Okay. But I know it's a video game. That is a helpful power up.
It's not like one character does it, all of them do it.
They're just screwing. No, not everybody does a double jump. There's all kinds of that's a.
I don't mean literally everybody, but there's a lot of
double jumps, right? No, I know it's a physically impossible thing. Lots of video games have physically impossible things.
I've attempted double.
And there are a lot of realistic things that we will bitch about in side scrollers that we don't want to be there, even though they're realistic. Fall damage is the big one. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, sure.
Yep.
So,
Fuck fall damage.
that was the best thing we got rid of after Mario 64.
The worst thing in new video games for like realism that like breaks the game.
Mm-hmm.
Wooden doors. Why can't I break them? I can destroy everything around me, but if you don't want me to go through that door, can't do shit to it.
Yep, that's a really good point.
We need to find a way around that because I'm getting really tired of not knowing what I can and can't use in video games. But it's getting worse and worse.
But like I said, the double jump is just a mechanic. Knocking me backwards like that
is just a mechanic.
It's just not fair. I don't know why that's there.
I don't know.
It makes it unfair. It makes it hard in an unfair way. Anyway,
okay.
What's your next thing?
Okay, so my next thing is also kind of. I'm gonna skip my number 2. I'll come back to it later. My number 3 just says fuck Apple. So I talked to you about this the other day. I shouldn't have.
He only likes oranges.
So you saw me. I was genuinely angry when I found this out. I'm livid. So.
Can I real fast? Can I tell my favorite part of this story
Sure.
before you get into it?
Sure.
Because it's about the fact that we don't know yet what the hell he's talking about. He comes out from smoking, and he barrels down the staircase like he's pissed, like he's gonna come down at me with a knife, like I've done something. You know, he's barreling down the fucking staircase, and he's like, "Cap! Oh my God! You'll never believe what I just found out." And then I said...
Well, I think I said I have a thing for the show.
I have a thing... No, you hadn't said that yet.
Oh,
you had not said that. That's why it's funny.
Okay.
You were like, oh my God, I'm so pissed off. I gave the natural response. I said the thing that anyone in my place then would have said, which was, what happened? Oh, well, I can't tell you. Because I'm going to use it on After Dark. But you came barreling down the staircase. How curious must I be right now? So I insisted he tell me, and he told me. But I was like,
did it pay off?
Yeah, it did.
It did.
And I'm gonna have to listen to it again, and that's fine. I just had that with Crash Test Dummies. But I'm like, you can't barrel down a staircase like that, and then expect me not to be like, well, gee, what's wrong, Eric?
So I have an iPhone. iPhones are pieces of shit, and I hate iPhones. I used to have an Android.
I like my iPhone.
I used to have an Android. I prefer the Android.
I'm gonna say not fuck Apple. I like my
mine's an older model than yours is. This one was free when somebody stole my Android or I lost my Android. I'm not sure which.
My iPhone could beat up your iPhone.
Probably. So for months, and I told you about this months ago.
You did.
I refused to update my phone because the update would take away the gun emoji. And on principle, I am not okay with this. First of all, how am I supposed to tell people how my day is? But just on principle, I am not okay with you taking away my gun emoji.
I honestly think this is one of the weirdest pet peeves. Like, I'm with you. They shouldn't. I don't think
necessarily. With a fucking
necessarily.
squirt gun.
I know.
So, anyways, I have for months dealt with at least once a day. Do you want to update now? No, update later. You sure you want to update later? Yeah, I'm updating later. For months.
To make it clear, Eric just feels like you should be able to use that emoji, and it shouldn't be a big deal. And we're not saying like we want to kill people, and it's not about the gun control argument or question or anything like that.
No, it's a fucking picture. I should be allowed to have it. It was there in the first place. Don't take it away from me. If you want to add a squirt gun emoji, that's fine. Don't take my fucking gun emoji.
You know what would be really funny? If instead of
they're coming for our gun emojis.
You know what would be really funny? We really need gun emoji control, I think. That's important.
Yeah.
No, what would have been really
that's
funny
clearly what Apple thinks.
If instead of changing, but I wonder if a lot of them aren't doing it. I wonder if it's not just Apple. But anyway, what would have been really funny is if instead of a squirt gun, they just put like a little orange thing around the barrel.
That would, you know what? That would have been fine. I would have been fine with that. That's funny. So they replaced it with this fucking squirt gun. And so for months I have not updated my phone because I want to keep my gun emoji. I don't even use it that much. I just, on principle of the matter, fuck you, don't take my shit.
You know, there was this little old lady that went down to the police department and gave them her gun emoji.
I was talking to somebody from work about this because she wanted to play like a game, and it's like there's like you can do games on iPhones now, like in the iPhone chat or whatever. And so I was like, it's just a picture, and she's like, well, have you updated your phone? And I was like, no, I haven't, because I need to have my gun emoji. And she goes, yeah, but no one else can see it. I was like, what? She goes, if you do the gun emoji on my side, it's just a squirt gun. And so I sent a picture with the gun.
You've had squirt guns all this time.
So
you have never sent me that emoji. You've been bitching about this for months. You've never sent me that.
I actually don't use it that much. But no, it's a principle of the thing. And occasionally I will tell people my day was smiley face gun. Because that's most work days, right? You're all with me. That is the only way to really tell people how you feel after a day of work is smiley face gun. So
the conflicted version of that is the smiley face with the hearts next to it and the gun. It's like, I just can't even decide.
So she was like, yeah, but nobody can see it. And I was like, what? And she sent me a screen cap because I sent her smiley face gun, and she was like, she was like, yeah, it's adorable. And I was like, you mean for months I have been dealing with my phone trying to update and me not doing it. Text messages
and all these things
watching
that won't let you do
videos,
now.
and all these things I can't do. And no one can see my fucking guns. Also, we don't talk on the phone that much. We mostly use Facebook Messenger.
Oh, is it? Oh, of course. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't affect that.
But
there's probably not a gun emoji on Facebook Messenger.
No one for months.
No, I don't know the last time you sent each other an actual text message.
4 months? I have been thinking, not that I send it that often, but I've been thinking I've been sending people fucking gun emojis.
Did you finally update it?
I did, because I wanted to play the game, and you know what? It didn't update far enough. It needed another update, and it's not on my phone, so I think my phone has gone as far as it can go, and I still can't play a fucking game with my coworkers, so that was useless. Fuck Apple. That's all I got.
That game was called Fun Happy Gun Time.
It actually looked kind of like your trivia game. It was a bunch of question boxes and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
But I don't actually know because I couldn't
I'm
play
not saying
it.
that's the most original thing or anything.
Yeah.
So here's just a question. I don't know if this is a good topic, but here's
Sure.
here's just a question. And this is actually almost interesting. This is kind of a little bit related to your fake geek thing,
Sure.
a little bit, but it's more of the perspective question that I had when we were discussing that. Here's my question. Do people tend to actually become experts in the TV shows and things that they watch now, like the way a lot of us used to, or are we all casual fans pretending to be mega fans now? And the reason I ask that question is because there's so much stuff vying for our attention all the time. I don't know if a lot of us have the time and energy we used to. Or is it that I'm just getting older? I don't know if people
No.
as...
People don't give a shit like they used to.
Am I right?
No. No, absolutely. You are absolutely right. People do not give a shit. Anybody on the street, no matter how...
I'm just saying it's a problem. I think there are shows that I would call myself a fan of that I don't know if I even know well enough to say that. Or you would expect I would know it really well, like I know Star Trek or something. But I watched... I watch House of Cards. I don't know how well I know that show.
But, yeah. And I think most people you ask anybody on the street who says they love Game of Thrones, no one loves Game of Thrones, or most people don't love Game of Thrones the way...
How deep into a conversation could you get with them?
The way people loved Star Trek in the 90s.
Buffy and Angel.
Yeah. People, and maybe this is just part of the everyone is a geek. We're well, yeah, those people do still exist, and they do still love those things as much as we got into other things.
But I feel like I'm this way. I feel like me personally, I feel like and some of it's just the channel and watching and reading so much stuff for review. So I have a real extenuating kind of situation there. But I just feel like there are things that if there weren't so many shows to watch on Netflix, and et cetera, I might immerse myself more, dive more into something. I don't know that it's just the difference between real geeks and fake geeks the way you're talking about it. I wonder if we don't all have this to some degree.
I don't know. I mean, there's certainly things I like that I don't know cold, but I still am really into things that I really know James Bond and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you've had a lot of time to live with that. I'm talking about newer stuff. I'm talking about.
I don't know the Netflix shows.
Does anybody know Black Mirror the way I know Star Trek?
And I wasn't really trying to do the fake geek thing exactly, or I wasn't trying to make that case exactly. But no, I don't think most people know most things.
I just don't know that I really have time. I don't rewatch things the way I used to.
But I don't
even know that I know the movies I like as well as I used to. There are things that I grew up with and that up until recently I still tended to watch yearly, there's just so many things I would do that with. Now I can't do it with everything. I just feel like
I think some of that is just
oversaturation. Yeah.
Because that's the thing I've always heard is like people talking about, like, I used to watch movies multiple times. Is I watch it once and then 3 years later I'm like, I've seen that.
And I wonder how much of it might be my age.
Yeah, I think some of that is true, but I don't know. I think with a lot of things, people are really enthusiastic and really excited about things. I don't know how well they know them.
I'm just not sure I will ever know a more modern franchise the way I know Star Trek. I don't know if I'll ever have that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I also just don't know if there's enough time in the day or brain capacity.
Well, and there's also less of it. You know, Star Trek is, 700 episodes or whatever.
Yeah, but I never would have gotten into Gate that way, even though I like Gate.
That's true. And there are people that are into Gate that way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But even, like, if they were better, like the CW shows and stuff, or, like, even Marvel, I don't know that I know it as well as I know Star Trek.
Well, and part of that is the disposable entertainment thing, where everyone's really excited for Game of Thrones when Game of Thrones come out. Season ends, and there's just like a void for a couple of months. The CW shows the same way. People watch CW shows, but then they just they go to something else. Like, things don't have the resonance now that they used to have. Luke Cage came out, it was a huge deal. A month later, no one mentioned it. And that's just the way things are operating right now. It's that internet time thing. Things move so quickly.
Things aren't even relevant. Doesn't it feel like Power Rangers came out 2 years ago now?
Yeah. It feels like Power Rangers came out.
Some of that is because it's probably not going to get a sequel, so it just doesn't even feel relevant the way it did. Ninja Turtles feels like it's 5 years old because, I mean, the new one.
Yeah.
Because they're not making any more of those.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with that.
I didn't even get around to doing the rewind for the first one. That franchise is already done. We're done with that.
I think everybody's we're pulled so many different ways and so many different things, and we're told that they're all good and everyone loves all of them, that it's very hard to actually be super invested in any one of them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a modern thing I'm really into. And I can't. Like, I love the Marvel Netflix shows, but, like, I don't know, I'm cold. I've watched each of them once, except for Daredevil Season 1, which I've seen twice.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Probably movie franchises more so.
I know Shane Black movies really well. Mm-hmm. I know I've seen The Nice Guys like 8 times, 10 times since it's come out. I know Iron Man 3 really well. But some of the movies, like as we discovered doing Marvel Mania, some of those movies I didn't know that well 10 years ago I would have. No matter what the movie was. I know Thor pretty well, and I know Incredible Hulk pretty well because of when it came out.
I had that with the Batman movies, and obviously, superhero stuff more than other things, because with my job, I end up looking at that stuff a million times. But, like, Batman Begins came out in 2005. I was still rewatching things a lot back then.
Winter Soldier, I've seen a couple of times. I guess Shane Black is a...
And I used to know Smallville kind of like I know Star Trek.
Yeah, but you broke that down to me one where, like, you watch it like 3 times a week or something. Twice a week or something like that.
In high school, every show I watched, and every meant like 3 or 4. Every show I watched, I made sure and watched twice the week it came out. And that stuff is much more burned in my memory than other things.
And I don't rewatch movies as often as I used to.
When we did the discussion shows, I tried to do that with the CW stuff, and I just couldn't keep up with it.
Except for Shane Black movies, I will go through his entire catalog at least once a year, if not more. I'll just be like, I need to go through these movies, and I go through those movies, but other than that, like even James Bond, like. I'll watch some James Bond movies, and the next time I'm in the James Bond mood, I will not watch those ones again, or I'll try not to watch those ones again, because it feels like I just watched them, even if it was a year ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know what? The movie franchise that I most, and this isn't a new thing, but this isn't a new thing, but the movie franchise that I didn't grow up with, that I have most started going back and rewatching a lot, is Rocky. Oh, well, I've now been back through that maybe like 3 times. Yeah. That has been the thing I've tried to immerse myself and get to really know.
Yeah.
And after Creed came out, I did it again. We have 10 minutes on the clock.
Oh,
what is your next one?
Oh, man. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. What do I want my next one to be?
I'm really hoping the last one, what will probably be my last one we can spend some time with.
Okay. So I want to talk about how many times a day I think about having Wolverine claws.
I forgot all about this. You were going to bring this up in the first show.
No. It just naturally came up when we were walking after the first show. And I was like, oh, this should have been
did it?
Up. Yeah.
I thought it was before that. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Go right ahead, sir.
So,
the floor is yours.
I spend a lot of time during the day, and by a lot of time I mean like a couple of seconds, every couple hours,
Life is short. Buddy.
thinking like, just having like a moment of being like, if I could just pop, like just thinking about like when my claws come out, but I don't have claws, and the hand is perfectly designed for claws right here. And we talked about this, that like a lot of it comes from just seeing this so much, like. It almost feels natural, the idea that claws will snicked out. That like I think about, I'm like it's not even like it's
I just
not.
love getting that thought in your mind. My claws.
It's not. It's not like an anger. Like that's what you think it would be. Like, oh man, this dickhead, who's being an asshole. If I could just pop my claws. It's not like that. Like I'll just be standing there, I'm like, I kind of wish I could pop claws. I don't know. And you said you kind of had this.
No, I had it too. I had it especially around when X2 came out, when I was doing the Wolverine hair. I alluded to this earlier. I used to put my hair up like Hugh Jackman, and it's almost long enough to do it now. I would have to grow it out a little bit more, but it's too curly now, and so it's very difficult to keep it straight enough where it doesn't just look like a curly mess. And at that point, I bought the toy claws they had. And would put those on occasionally, just being silly. But
see, it's not even about the claws; it's about them coming out. Like I don't know, it's something about
no, but I had the two, but the toy I bought was retractable.
Oh, cool.
So I'd be like shing, and then
yeah, I don't know. I think about it. I mean, often
they were for little kids,
and it's not like
they weren't long enough by any stretch.
It's not. There were ones that came out for one of them that are ridiculously long.
Yeah, and I never got those, and those were retractable too.
Yeah. Although I think they were only retractable to like here.
Oh, was that the case?
I think that's what it was. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like I'm a Wolverine guy, or like I've been thinking about Wolverine. Like it's not like Logan came out and I'm thinking. Just pretty frequently, I'm like, I kind of wish I could just pop claws. That's what I got.
No,
so
I have had that too. My name is Logan, and I have had a lot of Wolverine thoughts. And also, I'm a little scrappy like comic book Wolverine. Mm-hmm. That's the thing is like if I beefed up, I could pull off comic book Wolverine.
Sure.
Because I'm definitely that size. I'm
Pre-2000 comic book Wolverine.
I'm just not in shape. Yeah.
Yeah, that comic book Wolverine, 20 years old now.
Yeah, but at least people your age and my age are so familiar with that character. Yeah. Yeah, I could be Marvel vs. Capcom Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he stands like this.
I'm Berserker Mirage. I would.
Is that what the fuck he's saying in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what he's saying.
I don't know.
Is this like a Nirvana song where like everybody thinks it's
all different? The dialogue in Marvel vs. Capcom is like a Nirvana song.
Print that on a t-shirt. So the next thing I would like to do, Eric, is I would like to play a game. I would like to play the game that Casey Jones and Donatello play.
Oh, we're going to do that?
In Ninja Turtles.
We're going to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do that. I don't know. We've never done this.
We've discussed
doing this, and I thought this would be a fun setting to do this. Go through the alphabet.
Sure.
And come up with terrible insults. And I think because it's this show, I guess profanity is okay.
Sure.
For this, that would probably make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But we can't use anything that they said in that movie. So you can't say gack face or hose brain.
I was gonna say hose brain if I got H.
I would say gack face, but we should have to be original.
All right.
And see how good our improvisation skills
are.
I've never done this. I might suck ass.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll see.
I'm real worried about having to go through the alphabet like A B C D E F G.
I'll help you out with that, buddy. Where would you like to? Would you like? And you can start, and you can pick the part of the alphabet we start. We don't have to start at A. We can start anywhere in the alphabet.
I don't.
That might be fun.
I don't have a preference. Let's stay away from like Q and
starting
at. Yeah. Let's stay away from there. But no, it's your show, Ace.
What did you just say?
I said it's your show, Ace.
Ace. You called me Ace. I said, but you put those together. Your show, Ace. What does that mean? What's a show, Ace? The fuck is that? Okay. How about? Okay. Do you want to start or should I start?
You should start.
Oh God, that sounds terrible. Okay. We'll start at. We'll start at A.
Okay.
We'll start at A.
Okay.
I'm gonna begin. I see you said Ace. Ace the Bat Hound face. No. I'm gonna begin with. See, I'm having a hard time not just saying things that aren't even insulting and don't make any kind of sense. This is my idea too, and I just want to come up with a good one. I want to start in a good place. God, it's all lame in my head right now. I'm thinking of things like axe or antimatter, or like just nothing that sounds mean enough. You know, I'm not a mean enough person. See, I want to do this so I can get better at being mean. I just find that very difficult. Maybe you should start. If you think of one before I have a good one before I do.
Okay, I was thinking the B ones. I wasn't thinking the A ones.
Well, of course, that's what you should be doing. Wow, I just can't think of anything good. Well, this was a good idea. My God.
And the air is dead.
Apple core face? It's the best I've got. I can't think of anything.
Bombast nose?
Okay, well, if you're going to those kinds of places. Bombast?
Bombast.
It's like a Star Wars kind of place.
No, is it Bombast?
Oh, I guess I was thinking of like Bombad General or whatever.
Yeah, it's Bombad. Bombad.
That's where my head went.
Bombad Racing.
Where does bombast come from? Just bombastic?
Yeah.
It's okay. Nearly everything with you is some kind of a cultural
That's not a reference to anything.
It's
your show AC is a cultural reference? It's a line from Monster Squad?
Oh, okay. That's probably why you ran it together and expected me to know it. Except I've never seen that and you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cannibal Man?
Donkey Brain?
I almost said Igor. That starts with an I. Eye Guy?
Freak Face?
Gambit from Origins?
Hannibal Hair?
Wow, you're way better at this. And then I did land on I. Yeah. See, I'm having a hard time coming up with because it's always like a body part or something, isn't it? Is it always a body part? Now that I'm thinking about it, because there's only so many of those, and we don't even go very far with it. You know. Because after a while, just everything turns into face or brain. We
only hear like 5 of them.
Igor Brain, nothing sounds good. Like Igor Foot, Igor Knee, nothing sounds good. Yeah.
You going with one of those?
I'm going with Igor Face. Yeah.
Okay. Jack of No Trades.
That's real poetic. Yeah. Kellogg's Cornflakes, dude. I can't think of the thing to tack onto it.
L'Oreal Breath.
Breath, yeah. L'Oreal. That's amazing. Meatloaf fan. Fucking hate meatloaf. I really do. I don't like meatloaf. I like the food meatloaf, but I don't like meatloaf.
Nickel Thumbs.
Oh, okay. Opium breath.
I was gonna go nickel nose, but I was like, I already said nose. Opium breath?
Opium breath.
Wow.
You gotta make up for lame ground.
Yeah. Try that go to penile. And that's time.
That's our time. Are we gonna finish the alphabet?
No, it's taking for.
Yeah, this was harder than I thought it would be. I just want to see if we could do it. I didn't actually think about any of them ahead of time.
Express feet.
Feet. Yeah, see, feet never sounds good, does it? Yeah.
But you don't want to just keep saying face and brain.
No, that was the problem I was running into.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course, Q isn't easy.
Quetzalcoatl phase.
So you're just making up words now.
No, Quetzalcoatl is a god. It's in a bunch of Final Fantasy games.
Oh.
I mean, not just Final Fantasy games. It's a Native American god, Quetzalcoatl.
Oh.
It's a big lightning bird, I think.
Quark ears. Yeah.
Quagmire brain.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, well, I think that's gonna be it for us today. Unless you want to Ratchet Head.
I think mine was a little bit better.
No, yours was better. See, I said Profanity is good, and I was trying not to lower myself to that place, you know. Because it's really easy to just get at me like fuckface.
Saddlebag. Testosterone tick.
That's pretty good. I'm not gonna be able to beat that. Underwear vase. You don't want to buy one of those. You don't want an underwear vase. Valium head.
Wax lips.
That's pretty good. This is really immature.
Hopefully somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
I got 2 more?
No,
3 more.
Sir.
3 more.
Yeah. X-ray ass. Yondu head.
I was gonna say Yo-Yo Dime Brain.
That's good. Yeah.
And of course, you finish with xylophone teeth.
No, that's an X.
I know it is.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't even know how many letters we had left, so yeah. Zebra tongue.
Zorel brain. I don't know.
No, you want one of those. Zor-El's a smart guy. You want his brain. That's not even an insult. Yeah, Zor-El brain? Yeah, thank you very much. I have a Zor-El brain.
Zor-El fuck.
Yeah, because you put that after anything.
We're going to practice at this.
Yeah, we'll work on it. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you had a good time, minus maybe the last 8.5 minutes. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks with more Geekvolution After Dark. In the meantime, Eric and I are going to run off and have a little bit of this wine. This is the wine that my wife and I made ourselves for our wedding way back in 2008. So this is almost...
Did you smash the stuff with your feet?
No, that had already been done. No, actually, we did. Now that I'm thinking about it, we did that.
That's cool.
Yeah, we went that far. That was really cool. But yeah, we got to go to a winemaking place, and this is almost a decade old now.
Wow.
Sarah and I have our 10th wedding anniversary next summer, which is astounding and very exciting, but I don't know where all
that... in this left, right?
Yeah, just the ones that are up on that rack.
Okay. I was going to say, we didn't drink the last one, right?
No.
10th wedding anniversary.
It was 7 or 8, and I think there's a few more even some places. We are out of the white, unfortunately, but we made white and red wine. So this is a for anybody that knows their wine, this is a Chilean Malbec. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks, and with lots more stuff on Geekvolution.
In a couple months,
Batmania. Yeah, stay tuned. I am Captain Logan.
All right.
See you, folks.